Last time on Dragon Ball Z, through a series of catastrophic bag fumbles, Cell had finally reached perfection. Spurred on by his newly acquired power in the time chamber, Vegeta was sure that he had what it took to take Perfect Green down. But after landing only one blow and seeing the effects, or lack thereof, it became clear that the Z-Fighters may have bitten off more than they could chew. Less fighting and more playing, Cell took his time slowly dismantling the Saiyan warrior. Eventually, Vegeta had enough of being the Biobot's plaything and unleashed his finishing move, the Fumble Flash, in hopes of turning the tides and showing Cell the true capabilities of the perfect Saiyan warrior. At first, it looked like the prince did the impossible, but in seconds it became clear that Cell's injury was the product of his own sadistic sense of humor, and after regenerating went Bane mode on the warrior, cracking his back like a Toblerone, leaving Trunks the only fighter left with the hopes of stopping the android's antics. Leaving Big Krill in charge of nursing his pops, Trunks prepared his inflatable muscles and stepped into the ring next, thinking that he had surpassed his father and would be able to finish the job that he couldn't. Despite the difference in their raw power though, Cell taught the young warrior a valuable lesson, reminding him that size isn't everything, as he easily dodged off the bloated Saiyan's attacks and proceeded to humiliate him both physically and mentally. Having grown bored after realizing there was no one left worthy of competing with, Cell leaves Trunks with an ultimatum. He'll be holding a tournament in 10 days. He and all of his friends will show up to compete in the games, or else the Earth is forfeit and he'll bust the planet open like a gusher with all of them still on it. The choice is theirs. And with that arrogant and terrifying proclamation, the android headed out and the countdown to the Cell games began. One thing I forgot to touch on last episode that I gotta hit real quick is the misadventures on the island of bag fumbles with Krillin and Vegeta while Trunks was getting busy against Perfect Green. Bruh, the amount of L's on this island between these two chuckleheads could fill a Death Note manuscript. I so wish the broadcast team would have taken the time to allow these two to marinate in dialogue for a bit. The interaction would have had the potential to be the funniest in Dragon Ball period. Can you imagine the amount of goalposts moving and blaming that would have gone on in that conversation? Wow, Vegeta, you really screwed the pooch this time. Oh, I screwed the pooch. That's a good one, Baldy. By the way, remind me again why the woman android was around to get absorbed in the first place. But no need to worry. I'm sure she and her dark-haired friend are getting nice and acquainted in Cell's gullet by now. Romance occurs in the most unexpected of places, you know. That dialogue would have been the most petty exchange in the entire world, and in my own headcanon, that's exactly what occurred. Returning to the business at hand though, Cell is out here having the time of his little life, going full architect and engineer mode, designing the ring for his games before deciding that enough groundwork had been laid and he needed to pay a little visit to the local TV broadcast station to get some PR for his upcoming event. At this point, stuff with Cell is completely jumping the shark, but I'm all in. The idea of Cell cutting self promos to me is one of the funniest things in the world. If Z took place in our timeline, I could 100% see this man making an Instagram, TikTok, and Twitch and absolutely flooding social media with videos of him hitting the whip and Nene while roasting the Z homies and calling everybody on the earth soft. This man Cell just walks into the nearest town, crashes through the roof, and is like, yo, mind if I make an announcement? Perfect Green begins to cut the most legendary wrestling promo of all time, literally challenging the entirety of Earth's population to a boxing match single-handedly, providing a location where the ones will be thrown, and promising the world that at the end of the 9 days, when it's clear that no one is left to stand on business, he plans to personally come door to door to every Earthling's house to put them in a pack, no exceptions. Then for the cherry on top, Buddy takes a nearby globe and disintegrates it just to further exemplify the fact that he truly feels like the Earth is his before going back to his ring to continue decorating. Everybody across the globe caught the promo, including the Z homies who you already know were laid up at Roshi's house blowing off that pack, just staring at the TV like, damn son, if Vegeta and Trunks couldn't do it, it might really be a wrap for real. We then get a glimpse over at Capsule Corp where this man Vegeta is just fully comfortable, walking around the Briefs estate, no shirt like a true stepdaddy, decide that it's time to lace up again after Cell announced he was making his move. Vegeta and Trunks make their way over to the Lookout again in hopes of hitting Planet Fitness at least one more time each before the Green Games begin. Right as Piccolo begins to reach the pinnacle of his patience dealing with Vegeta's nonsense, they sense Goku's energy, but are surprised considering he still had at least a couple hours left in the time chamber. What they see surprises the hell out of them though, because as Goku and Gohan return, it's pretty clear that they are in Super Saiyan form, but there's something kind of odd about it. In the past, when they saw someone enter Super Saiyan, there was always this sort of strain to it, like there was a definite effort being put into maintaining the form. But for some reason, it appears as though Gohan and Goku are walking around fully transformed like it's their normal state. Vegeta, already aggravated by Goku's mere presence, is like, look, Cloud, let's not mince words. Can you beat this thing or not? Goku, as nonchalant as ever, is like, oh, good question. I don't know, let me go see real quick. Then this man Goku takes a quick minute and teleports to Cell's ring, introduces himself, tells Cell's ring setup is kind of dookie, but he's excited to box in 10 days before returning back to the lookout. I know this man Cell is so tired of instant transmission jump scares by this point, but he can't help but be a little intrigued at the sheer size of Goku's Dragon Balls. Being willing to roll up on him like that and spark a casual conversation before leaving and going about his day like they're old high school classmates. Goku returns to the lookout and everyone wants to know the verdict, optimistic that Goku will have something heroic to say that'll give them hope that'll make everything alright. But what comes out of his mouth is the exact opposite, and on my rewatch, it made me laugh with how blunt and unexpected it was. This man Goku returns to the lookout and is like, look, I gotta keep it a whole bean, y'all. I never expected homie to be this good. Like, I was in the chamber getting busy, but I'm pretty sure compared to this dude Perfect Cell, I got zero hands. I'm talking full wash, rinse, and dry cycle. This man will fold me up like the laundry I got Chi-Chi doing right now. Absolutely speechless at what they just heard, Piccolo's like, okay, I mean, it don't look good, I grant you, but on the positive side, we still got 9 days to get active before the Cell games, right? Meaning if we go in that bad boy in shifts, we might still have a chance to turn the tides. And once again, this man Kakarot absolutely stuns the peanut gallery, telling him, I'm not gonna hold you, fam. I'm really not trying to go in that time chamber again. Right now, my game plan is Gohan, close your ears, 3 days getting reacquainted with my wife, 3 days beating the brakes off my son, 3 days beating the brakes off my wife again, then I'll go box. At this point, everyone is just begging this man Goku to say sight, but dude confirms that he is deadly serious. Vegeta, never one to pass on an opportunity to feel tougher than Kakarot, makes fun of his fellow Saiyan for being too soft to do another bid in county for the Cell games. Goku hits the emoji shoulder shrug though and is like maybe, but tells the rest of them that it really might not be a bad idea for them all to go in because they likely still got a whole lot of work they could be doing. Vegeta, unable to stomach the sheer amount of arrogance and disrespect coming out of someone's mouth that isn't his own, is like, are you implying that you're better than me, clown? Cause Popo's our witness, we can take this to the flagpole right now. Kakarot then looks this man square in the face and is like, does a bear defecate in the woods, Vegeta? Before grabbing his son and flying off to make one last stop before heading home. I know this moment right here is when Vegeta decided on Kami. If there is ever a centuries-old wizard that promised to unleash my latent power in exchange for the sanctity of my autonomy and soul, I promise I'm taking that deal. And with this oddly specific proclamation out of the way, Vegeta impatiently waits for a chance in the Room of Spirit and Time, while Goku and Gohan pay a visit to Korin. After a quick introduction and assuring Yajirobe that they're not here to recruit him to the war effort, Goku informs Big the Cat that he's made a few strides in the time chamber and wants to get his honest assessment on how close he is to being able to box Cell. Goku then begins the key charge atop the lookout, nearly oofing everybody in the tower before stopping when he's about at half capacity to get the cat's verdict. Korin tells Goku that admittedly, he's on a whole different stratosphere of power when compared to nearly every living thing at this point. But if he's going to be fully transparent, he's pretty sure Cell is still the apex predator. And once again, this man Goku's lack of urgency surprises everyone, as Big Fella just smiles and laughs it off, actually agreeing that these were his exact thoughts too, but he just wanted some quick confirmation. Even Gohan at this point is starting to look at his pop sideways for a couple reasons. Number one, why is this man out here yucking it up when they just confirmed that his donut is all but powdered if things don't drastically change within the next 9 days? And also, why is he capping about his power level? There's no way that little display of light work he put on just a minute ago is actually half his power. The math is currently incalculable right now. But Gohan's pops continues as though everything is continuing to go to plan, collecting his son for a trip to his mom's house where they can relax while the countdown to the Cell games continues. The next day, we see Goku 100% riding dirty in a whip with his wife and child because we all know how that man's attempts at boating school went. It seems like the Sun family is out for a grocery trip when they get an SOS through the radio that the world's leaders are sending the military to snuff out Cell before the games can begin. This proclamation has Goku yelling at his radio like a Cowboys fan on a Sunday, begging them not to move forward with the operation to delete Green because everybody knows how that movie's gonna play out.
Hydrogen bomb! That's coughing, baby!
Things go exactly as sideways as you expect them to, with Cell wiping out the entirety of the military force with a hand wave, after which Goku leaves his family deserted in the vehicle to pay a visit to Big Green on the lookout. Upon arrival, Goku immediately compliments Kamiklo on his power increase, while in the same breath telling him that Cell will bend him over his leg in a heartbeat. Big Green, appreciative of the honesty but frustrated at the lack of basic etiquette, asks the Saiyan what he's doing on the lookout. Goku then asks Green if he'd be willing to de-digivolve like it's something he can just do on command so they can get access to the Dragon Balls and make things right, because they're probably gonna need it. Green is quick to tell Goku that that ship has sailed and is one of the myriad of reasons why he was so damn reluctant to bump uglies again with his twin in the first place. Thinking on his feet, Goku's like, hey, what if we immigrated another green man to the lookout and had him be Earth's new god instead? Brother Logic has my mind destroyed. Can you really just take any man with green skin, put him on the lookout, give him a cane, and now he's considered god? Y'all already know that boy Popo was absolutely geek though. Old Bojangles over here smiling ear to ear with that single tooth in his mouth, talking about, oh lord, that show does miss having a master up here, Goku. The whole section is wildly out of pocket. Let's just continue before it gets worse. Unable to sense Namekian Chi from his current position, Goku decides that maybe if he teleports to King Kai's, his 5G will pick up and he can go jump scare the green people and kidnap one of them to bring back to Earth. Goku follows through with the plan, being rude as hell and waking King Kai up out of his nap, give the down and dirty of what's happening on Earth right now. King Kai hears him out and is like, damn son, you low-key a magnet for messes, huh? You already know I mess with you though, so let me see what I can do. I really do appreciate Goku and King Kai's dynamic. It's always fun to see. Goku out here treating one of the universe's most sacred guardians like the uncle you chop it up with, telling dirty jokes at the cookout. Bro can't take anything serious. Watching the two purposely provoke each other's last nerve is grade A comedy though, and eventually King Kai gets a bead on the location of New Namek, and Goku heads there post haste to recruit a new green man for the lookout. Now, out of all the violations Goku has committed, I'm talking stepping on Nappa's head with dirty Tims, slapping the world's most dangerous galactic tyrant back and forth like he owed him something, beating his wife into a wall, all of that nonsense. This might be where homie caught me the most off guard. Dude just rolls up on the new planet with the instant transmission jump scare, right? Takes one glance around at all the green, and then first thing he says is, damn, look at all the Piccolos.
Wow, look at all the Piccolos.
You can't keep getting away with it! You can't keep getting away with it!
I promise you I can't. I had so many things I was going to say at this moment, but I'll just leave it at this. Our boy KK Kakarot was severely out of orbit on this one, and if Piccolo stops claiming them from here on, this fella more than earned it. After arriving and taking off his pointed hood, Goku was immediately surrounded by more Piccolos than he could shake a stick at.
Wow, it's a whole pack of Piccolos.
After introducing himself, they immediately recognized him as the savior of Namek and heard him out diligently, processing his need for one of their people to come take the throne on Earth. After hearing Goku out, Elder Mori smiles and tells Goku that they got just a guy, yelling for Dende to get his little ass out there and talk to their golden savior. Mori tells Goku that even though Dende's young, he would make an excellent god for Earth considering his already established relationships with Gohan and Krillin, as well as his insatiable lust for the game of blackjack. Goku looks Dende over and is like, hell, green to me. The only thing though, we need somebody that's got the ability to whip up a set of Dragon Balls too. Mori tells Goku that this would be light work for Dende. Little homie can whip up a set of balls with the best of them, and he has no doubts he'll make a fine overseer for the pasty, low melanin count inhabitants of planet Earth. Goku, deciding that he heard all he needs, first takes a young immigrant to Kyle-sama for the briefest of introductions as to Earth's new overseer. Then they head right over to the lookout, where after the initial shock wears off, a heartfelt reunion between Big Krill, Gohan, and Dende occur as they recall their old horror stories from Namek like the war buddies they are. During this brief opening, Trunks comes up to Goku and is like, look sir, I gotta know. You haven't told anybody yet, but the real reason you're able to be this chill about the upcoming apocalypse is because you made some kind of discovery about Cell and his weaknesses that we haven't yet, right? Goku stares for a moment, then begins staring at Trunks in pure confusion like, sorry to break it to you fam, but I'm pretty sure this fella Perfect Green ain't got a single one of those, and proceeds to walk off. The way this man Goku has single-handedly shattered the hopes and dreams of everyone in this arc in 2 sentences or less is kind of a work of art. But he absolutely refuses to provide his allies with any kind of comfort food. Man's like Goku said, I've already accepted I'm about to get my ass beat, why can't y'all? It's about this time the Z Crew is setting the terms for the new Dragon Balls that the broadcast team hits us with quite a few wholesome filler episodes of our heroes' misadventures as the countdowns to the games begin. One is an episode called A Girl Named Lime, where little homie Gohan, on an errand to get groceries from a local ghost town by his mom, ends up inadvertently getting handsy with a girl from a local village who leads him to a nearby town, where some local gangsters are pressing the population for money. The gangsters built this weak-ass dome that they claim will be able to protect the people from Cell attacks. The climax leads up to Gohan assisting the local village merchant, who is the grandfather of the girl he was grabbing up, as they expose the lies of the local mafia and put an end to the tyranny. The cherry on top is that General Tao is hired as a mercenary by the group of thugs, and right before he gets the idea to square up with Gohan, his PTSD sensors recalibrate and he confirms that little buddy in front of him is the son of Son Goku. This man then promptly chops down a local tree, says F the check, and escapes because he wants zero smoke from the Son family. Tao actually shows up a few times in the filler throughout this arc, making an appearance again in episode 174, The Puzzle of General Tao, where Goku, who's on the hunt for the freshly uninert balls, finds his way to the local Dimmadome of the Mafia hideout he and his family just can't seem to stay away from. Tao starts off ready to brute force bully his way into taking Goku's Dragon Balls, but after peeping who Goku is, deads that strategy immediately, and instead hands this man Goku some of those Cracker Barrel puzzle rings and tells him that if he can solve the puzzle in a day, they'll give their recovered balls to him. Surmising that Goku is still as brain damaged as ever, Tao and the Mafia members go to a nearby river for a quick break until they get jump scared by a teleporting Goku, who finesses them for the remaining balls without them saying a single word because they already knew better. Back in the day, I used to not be able to stand filler, but as time is going on, I've really started to respect the heart and world building that goes into some of those episodes. There's quite a few that are a lot of fun, actually. Tune in next time, homies, as the countdown to the Cell games reaches its conclusion. Will Goku finally reveal the secret that has allowed him to remain so at ease, or has the Saiyan just accepted the fact that Cell's perfection is absolute and nothing can be done? Be easy, y'all, and I'll talk to you again in the next video.